Alright, so I just want to go over the interior real quick and tell you why I purchased the Ram instead of the F-150. And this is the first point right here. The detail and the build quality of the interior of this vehicle is absolutely amazing. See if I get any more detail on this. Look at this door panel. It's absolutely beautiful. And then you look into the rest of the vehicle here and, you know, it's the same. It's absolutely a gorgeous interior. And I'll go over a couple of things in here in detail. Now, of course, I got the Layer Me package because the only way that you can get these vehicles, it seems, is with the higher level trim package on there. So, of course, the seats are all leather, and they're perforated here in the center for heating and cooling. And, of course, it's power adjustable. And it has memory seats and all. That's kind of nice. Lumbar support. I don't really need the heated seats so much as the heated steering wheel. This heated steering wheel, it gets absolutely toasty. And after going through a winter with this vehicle, that heated steering wheel, it's like you don't want to be without it ever again. You go to a different vehicle and you just don't want to touch it. It's just amazing how comforting it is when the rest of the vehicle's cold. Your hands are toasty warm. All right, now hopefully you can see the dash in here. You can see that it follows the theme of the seats and the doors with the white stitching on there. I know it's not real leather, but it sure looks like real leather. So it's a very, very nice dash. I like how it just continues and flows like that. Now the audio system in here is absolutely awesome. It sounds so good. I listen to Howard Stern on the satellite radio, and I've never heard his voice so crisp and clear before. And then of course in the back there we have the subwoofer back there, so it sounds even better, especially when we get into some good music. And the center stack here, again, it's got place up here to hold just about anything. I put my iPhone up here sometimes to look at it or hold it or whatever. Of course, a real nice center stack. It's got the big screen on here. I think it's 8.4 inches. It's absolutely huge, so it fits the truck real good. And I like how all your controls are here. So many touch buttons here. It's awesome. So this dial took a little bit, you know, getting used to. What's nice down here is the neutral tow function for the transfer case. Is right there. It's all built in, very nicely centered inside of there. And you got 4-wheel drive auto, 2-wheel drive, so it doesn't keep kicking in and out. And you got lock it and 4 low. Built in and trailer brake controller, so that's nice. And what's nice also is down here, all these buttons are right here, easy to get to for your heated and cooled seats, steering wheel like garbage. And it makes it a lot easier to go punch it and turn it on and off instead of going through all the controls on the screen here while you're driving. So that's a very nice feature. And that's one of the places that Ford has failed, and hopefully in their new sync systems have separate buttons like this. Everybody's complaining about that. And the same thing up here for audio and blower and tuning. It's all knobs. I love knobs for adjusting volume or blower over a button to push. So, and then the different controls here. And it also has the front park assist and rear park assist. So what's nice, you can turn them off and it'll stay off, like this past winter. It got a bunch of ice on top of the sensors, and of course they're freaking out thinking you're about to hit something when you're going forward, and you can just simply turn it off. Now the system was smart enough over here in the cluster, it told me ice coverage or whatever, but still at first it gets really annoying. So you just simply turn it off when the truck's all iced over like that. And of course over here we have our power inverter. That'll come in very handy for my 2015 summer tour this year when I'm charging batteries and stuff like that, running the laptops in here for updates and all that. And then over here, regular glove box, right? No big deal, regular size. Up here is even more storage. I think it's just about the same amount of storage as a glove box. So this thing can hold a lot of stuff, all these compartments in here. All right, next I want to talk about the steering wheel on here real quick. I like how the airbag right here in the center has that nice look to the whole steering wheel. Has a real nice look to it, the brushed aluminum look on here. And the airbag on here looks like the F-150s and Expeditions, the newer ones, that looks so nice. So I'm glad it kind of carries over a little bit of Ford over here. And over here you have your usual controls for your menus, and then your Uconnect, okay? And then over here you have gear selection if you want that. You can do that manually. and then down here is all your speed control type stuff. And on the back side of the steering wheel here, you have your volume, and on this side you can do the tracks, different tracks and all that. So you have a bunch of buttons all on the steering wheel, not just clustered right here. Now we'll start it as far as putting it into run position, so you guys can see how it starts up on here. I like that little Laramie logo on there. It just looks nice. What's really nice on here is this actually has automatic high beams is what it has on there. So you'll be going down the road and you have your high beams on, it'll actually turn it off when it sees a car coming over the hill. So it's a really nice feature. You can just concentrate on the road instead of concentrating on everything else. And the other thing I like in here is the depth gauge. There's an actual fuel type gauge, you know, analog gauge for your depth, so you know exactly where it's at instead of a warning 500 miles out like most of the Fords do. So that's a nice little feature too. I definitely want to see a gauge on there so I know where it's at. And then of course you can go through all the menu options on here for mileage, all kinds of durations. And the other thing that's nice is, let's see where it's at. You can have a digital speedometer if you want, is this right here. So you have all your tire pressures and what they currently are right there in the cluster. It's pretty cool. Now the radio I got obviously is a touch screen with navigation, the Uconnect, and all the other little bells and whistles. Like I said, it's the only way to get these trucks, it seems. So this one's just a regular radio tab, but you can see how easy it is to go to each one of these. Media for SD, Bluetooth, line in, USB, whatever you got for your media. Like I said, here's your controls for your heated steering wheel and all that stuff. Mirror dimming if you want to turn that on and off. And that's why I said it's nice to have them down below there. All your settings for climate control, if you put it on. Individual temp controls and all that stuff, so that's pretty nice. It's got a little sync button there, so you can sync both sides real easily. Regular navigation. And then your phone. The phone actually works on here very well. It connects up right away, and it just works really well. I don't know. And then of course in here they have all kinds of little apps you can put in there and connect to their services and hotspots and all kinds of fancy little stuff. I barely use any of that stuff. Alright, so I'll start it up so we can listen to the engine. You can see it's really quiet in here as far as the engine. It's a nice and sound deadened from the outside for sure. I mean, it definitely is because they know they have the diesel in here. But also you can hear a little bit of the diesel. And when you hear the diesel outside running, it has a really nice sound to it. Maybe I'll let you guys listen to that also. For a little 3.0 liter, it's got a great sound to it. Go outside and walk around the back side there. And then over here, I thought this was quite a good idea. Look at this, hidden storage. So you can store all kinds of stuff in, like my diesel additives and all that. And this little tub comes out of here. How do you pull it out of here? And of course, it's fully sealed for liquid. So if this thing does leak out, just take it out of there and go wash it. And of course, there's one on the other side too. And then down here, under the seats, there's a little table that folds out. Once these seats flip up, this whole table folds out. So this whole back seat from here all the way over here is one flat level floor back here. So it's absolutely awesome if you want to, you know, bring anything around. It's kind of the same thing as the newer F-150s have. It's a great thing if you're gonna have a super crew cab like this. You might as well have that and make some use of this back here. Now the center console on here is absolutely huge. It's a full flow-through console, so it has lots of usable space on here. Regular cup holders like usual, even more space right here for pens and such, and then got this whole area over here, and it's deep. It's a huge hole over there for whatever you can think of to put in there. And then this, it flips up to a smaller section in here for smaller stuff like paperwork and stuff like that. It's got your media hub right here. like usual, SD cards, all that, change, and then of course it has the slot right here to go through for the cable, and then you can lift it up to even more storage, and that bin in there is absolutely huge. You can see it, so there's plenty of room. I like how it gave you little shelves up here too for storage, so it's not all just buried down in there. And then of course there's your CD slot right there.